see how something good could come from loving you. The death of me must be your mission, 'cause with every hug and kiss, you're snatching every bit of strength.
All of this was the north. Now, just by looking at the map, they're bigger, larger in population as well, according to the census, which up to today is still being disputed. Because once you take off from Lagos in your plane, you won't see anything around here. And people still, right till today, is still being disputed. But here was the point. The whole of this side was the Cameroon. The Germans owned this area by the First World War, okay, 1941, up to 1942. But when they lost the First World War in 1939, there is a place here, this is the northern part of that Cameroon and the southern part. The northern part of this Cameroon was called Commando. They joined Nigeria. There was a plebiscite. They voted to join Nigeria. My boss then, Major Hall, a German officer, was seconded to the British Rhine. He was in Nigeria, he was my boss. He was part of the enumerators in 1960. So the northern part is today called the Adamawa province of Nigeria today. The southern part here was the Bakassi, which they're still quarreling about. But in 1960, 61, 62, the people voted to be part of Cameroon. They did not want Igbo domination. That was what they said. So they voted 4,000 to join Cameroon, 2,000 to join Nigeria. So they joined the Cameroons. But the people living there were Calabar people. But the land belonged at that time to the Germans and to be administered by the British after the Germans lost the First World War. So that was how Bakassi became part of Cameroon. It had never been part of Nigeria. I have maps to support this document. The two educated groups, instead of coming together to try and rule the country, they couldn't. So what happened? The man here called Ezekiel at the time, went to align with the North. So, and up to today, since 1960 of independence, the East and the North are still ruling Nigeria, and the complaints have continued to be louder and louder up to today. This East and the North are still ruling Nigeria since 1960, till now that I'm talking to you. For instance, in 1960, we had what was called Balewa cabinet during independence, and the North had 12 ministers. The East, NCNC then, had 11 ministers. They had the foreign affairs, they had the finance, they had transport, they had internal affairs. And remember, the police was from the police commander from the East, Army commander from the East, Air Force commander from the East, Navy commander from, everybody that was important in this country came from the East. The West had things on their own. The West had business of their own. They were just too busy. They were not interested in military or Navy or Air Force. Why go to a military camp for rigorous training when you can just go put on your tie and go to an office? They had a secretariat in Ibadan, they had a housing estate. In fact, from the housing estate in Ibadan, let's say this is the housing estate, a place is called Zango, where you can buy meat. It's equidistant to another place where you will buy fish. They were so well organized in the West. Okay, so that was what happened, and the North now wanted to start moving into the West. Both sides hated the people here. Until today, it is still so. You will see that in the West, they try not to do anything with Nigeria. They have their own parties, they are not PDP. Only 2 states in the north is not PDP. So the rest are PDP. Only 2 states in the east are not PDP. The rest are PDP. There's no PDP in the whole West, except the Midwest, which is the Igbo part of that West, but they would rather prefer to be part of this, even though they say they are not Igbos, but they are. And I happen to be part of them. I am also from that area. So, now, that was what started in 1960, after independence. The North wanted to start coming here. They already got these people because they're in coalition government. And I say coalition, up to this minute I'm talking to you now. And the country still can't find its way. But the West, there is no PDP. They have their own party. They have always had their own party. And they had always run their own government. Okay. So the North wanted part of this. They started inching forward. And then when Awolowo decided to go to the center, he wanted to be president to replicate what he did in the West. He lost the election. People said he won the election, but he lost the election. Now, his deputy took over, but Awolowo wanted to continue to control the party. Even though he had moved to the center, there was no more the premier of the region. His deputy became the premier. I think between 2 of them they quarreled. And the deputy therefore decided to go and join the North.
You're bad for me, I clearly get it. I don't see how something good could come from loving you. The death of me.